Hello there, my name is Claire. Welcome back to my channel. For this month's videos of December, I am going to be doing Christmas themed videos. So for this particular video, it is a two-bedroom, two-bathroom apartment built in the world of Myshuno. All of the information will be down in the description if you want to play in this apartment. It only uses the holiday free stuff pack and the city living expansion pack. So basically, all you need to pay for is the city living expansion pack because the base game is now free. It's been free for a while, so we are just going to be working now on the entryway of the apartment. I wanted to have a little stack of letters, thinking that they would be like Christmas cards from neighbors and family. I did want this home to be for a younger family, so there will be toddlers in this home, or that's why I put toddler beds in this home. And I'll talk more about my idea for the room design when we get to it. But first, we are in the kitchen and we're going to be going into the living room. So we're just going to be adding some appliances. There's only base game appliances in this little section of the kitchen, and I do have some upper shelving that's like exposed, and I thought that was like kind of cute to have like a little bit of like more detail and design in the kitchen because it is so small. And we're just going to be adding some bar stools, and I wanted to have bar stools instead of high chairs is one because high chairs are annoying in The Sims, and two, I was thinking maybe they're like older toddlers or not like just became toddlers or like kind of about to like age up for them to become children. So the red and green might be a little bit much, but I wanted this to very feel like a Christmas Hallmark movie. And I know with like Christmas movies, they like to add subtle touches to remind you that this is a Christmas movie, like with the wallpaper, the coloring. Sometimes it's the colors of the wardrobe that the actors and actresses are wearing. So that is kind of why I went for a bit more of a bolder color. But if you want to just like celebrate all of the Sims 4 winter in the winter in like a Christmas apartment, this is like the perfect opportunity to do that. And then you can like move back into like your regular Sims household after the season, after the Christmas holiday happens. So we're just now in the living room. I'm going to be adding this fake mantle into the living room because I was thinking that the apartment complex it doesn't allow like fireplaces, but they still wanted to have that like cozy fire feel, and so they just bought the fake fireplace. They just have the mantle, and this mantle came with the holiday stuff pack along with this Christmas tree. And now we're just going to be adding some toys for the toddlers to play around, have make it easier for the parents to keep their eyes on the toddlers. I'm gonna be adding a nice rug, and I wanted to add a little bit more color, so I do add a red rug on top of this cream rug. And now we're just going to be adding some side tables, which was a little bit tricky because it is such a tight space in this living room. I did want to go for like a first time apartment type of feel, like they're new to the city, they're kind of figuring things out, they're young, so I wasn't like minding the crampedness of the living room to the kitchen. So now we're just going to be adding some small individual chairs. I put one by the mantle because that was kind of the only other place to put it, and now we're just going to be finding a chair. For some reason, in the base game, the matching chair to the couch is like different, where the couch you have to like unlock a certain like career or level, but the chair is free and you don't have to like go for any hoops or put any cheats uh, to get that chair, which I find is kind of weird, especially because they're not even like the exact same color. It's like why aren't they just the same and why aren't they both just like accessible? So we're just going to be adding some items onto the side table. This side table is technically like a toddler bed side table, but I liked how low it was to compared to the table. I feel like sometimes it's a little bit weird to like have to like reach up when like to set something down, so I feel like it's nicer to like put it like lower to the ground and is next to the play area for the kids. So now we're in the bathroom. This is a bathroom for the guests, and I have a tub in here for the toddlers to get bathed because toddlers can only get bathed in tubs in The Sims 4. So we are just going to be adding some pops of red into the bathroom, and I already have the green tile in this space, and so I was just kind of adding pops of red to make it more Christmassy. And since this is the toddler's bathroom, I wanted to go for two different colored bath towels because it just makes sense once you get into the toddler's bedroom. And maybe I should just say it now, it's that the toddlers are like opposite twins, but one's nice and one's naughty. And it was a little bit hard to like figure out how to make nice and naughty twin toddlers. So it's kind of more like a saturation. One side is very green and one side is very red in the toddler's room. But first, before we go into the toddler's room, I'm going to be adding a few more decorations out here in the main living space. I realized I didn't add anything onto the counters in the kitchen because of the shelves I put next to the window. I kind of like, okay, that's good. But then I was like, wait, there's like nothing really like easy accessible. Like if your paper towels, fruit, and like silverware, like that stuff kind of needs to be more accessible than like cookbooks or knives. So we are now in the little like hallway to the bedrooms, and I thought this would be a good space to put the home computer and a nice spot to put a bookshelf, which I really do love. I just wish that there were more slots for items to click onto. Instead, I have to like raise the items up, and that's kind of annoying. And there's like so much space on that bookshelf. I mean, maybe they're trying to go for a minimalist look on that bookshelf, but hey, let me decide if I want that bookshelf to be minimalist or maximalist. So now we are in the toddler's bedrooms, and I will be first adding like children size beds because I kind of forgot for a second that this room is for toddlers, but it did kind of help me plan out the space having these longer beds because it'd be like easy for you to see if you want to have twin children instead of twin toddlers in this space. And I feel like it kind of like helped just like with spacing in a way because like even though the beds are shorter and there's more room, it does have a little bit more of a cozier feel. And so now we're just gonna be adding the dressers. I did add separate dressers for each of the Sims because I just thought it kind of helped with a little bit more of like a personality of like the red side is a little bit messier and the green side is a little bit neater, and like the parents are trying to help the Sim on the red side be neater by like, hey, look, match your clothes to the picture, but it's not really working. The clothes are still on the floor. So now we're just going to be adding some lights onto the side tables. I wanted to keep everything very color coordinated on each side. So I hope I did well. Maybe looking at like the dresser and the laundry hamper. It's not like it's kind of like an eyesore to have that like red pop, or not that red pop, that white pop. But I think this was a pretty good situation. I'm pretty proud of this room, and so we're just going to be adding those toddler beds now because this is the moment I'm like, wait, I'm making this whole house for a family of toddlers, not a family of with children. So we're just going to be adding some more kid space or kids items because I have the space, and now we're just going to be adding some bookshelves. I don't know if your Sims can reach that bookshelf, but they definitely can reach the bookshelf in the hallway, so you can still click on that bookshelf. They'll just get the book from the bookshelf in the hallway. So now we're just going to be adding some toys. They can't actually play with like the toys in the basket, but it's just kind of there for a cute little effect of having toys. And now we're just going to be rearranging a few things now that the beds are shorter. So you kind of saw the longer side of the beds and how to rearrange it. And now I'm going to be doing the beds with the shorter version. And now we're just going to be adding a lot of snowflakes onto the walls. So we're just going to be covering these walls on both sides with snowflakes. I couldn't really find any like Christmas and toddler themed like wall decor, and so I wanted to just add a bunch of snowflakes to kind of fill in the space, and it did kind of end up looking like a custom wallpaper, which I thought was kind of cool. So we're just going to be now on the red side, and I really liked how this turned out. I feel like it kind of helps like balance out the space in this room to like not make these colors so bold. It kind of helps soften the boldness of the red and the green in this room. And now we're just going to be adding some pictures above the bed. I thought it'd be kind of cute to have like a bunny over the green side and then a dinosaur over on the red side, but have like the frames be the same, so it's kind of like the thing that like connects the two sides of the room. And now we're just going to be going and adding a few more snowflakes in onto these walls, and now we're in the primary suite. And I actually do this room twice, and you are going to see me do this room twice. I needed a little bit of break from the red and the green that is in the entire of the apartment, and so I wanted to go for a full on white room, white bedding, white side tables, white dresser, but it came back to it and I'm like, this looks kind of sterile, kind of like an insane asylum almost. So I do come back and change the colors of all the items to look more festive, look like they actually go with the rest of the house. But if you need a break from the white, kind of like how I showed you in the toddler's room, you can change everything back to the white version of the room. So now we're just going to be adding some curtains. I feel like having this room all be white at at this first level was pretty hard because it's like the pictures weren't white enough. Like the frames looked a little weird, so I do change them, but then I do change them back to be more of a wood tone to match the rest of the space. And now we're just going to be adding a little chair in the corner. I did bump that wall out, but I realized that maybe it was a little too much room in this bedroom. I just had a common complaint with all of the Sims apartments in the city living world is that they're all kind of large. So we are just now in the bathroom off of the primary bedroom. So this is like the private bathroom for the parents, and we're just going to be adding a shower since the tub is in the first bathroom, and I wanted this bathroom just to be for the adults or for the parents. And so I know just the way to not have toddlers in your bathroom is to not have a bathtub. At least that's how it works in The Sims. So we're just going to be adding some obvious items into the bathroom. I feel like I said this recently, but having a 2x3 bathroom layout is my favorite like size of bathroom in The Sims, and so we're just going to be adding a lot of white items in here, but I do come back and change it. It just takes another minute to kind of come to my senses and not make it in the same silent bedroom. And so here is where we start to change everything to make it a little bit more bright and colorful for Christmas. And we're just going to be adding some green walls. I was a little bit afraid that like if I made this room colorful, then like the toddlers would think that like their parents have a favorite child because their room is more green than red, or their room's more red than green. And so that's one reason why I made the room all white at the beginning, but I feel like this final version is a lot more Christmassy, a lot more joyful. So we are going to be adding some artwork, going to be making this room colorful with the walls, and we are getting close to the end of the video. So I hope you enjoyed watching. If you want to watch more Christmas videos, I did create a playlist of all my Christmas builds on my channel, so you can go check that out after this video. I am on Instagram. My gallery ID is the same as YouTube and Instagram, so it's pretty easy to find me over there. And if you have any build suggestions for me, make sure to leave them down in the comments. And while you're down there, make sure to hit that like button on your way out. And thank you so much to those who have subscribed to me, and I'll see you all next week. Bye!